Hello, my loves. I freaking missed you guys. All right. So you really want to know like how do you stop hating yourself and what can you do to pretty much create a better life for yourself and just stop like being hard on yourself. Well, honestly, the first lesson on how I learned to really do this is learning that I'm human. I'm gonna make mistakes. I am going to fail. I am going to succeed. I am going to live and I'm going to feel. Um, I feel like because the world is so hard on us in general, it's very hard to sometimes find the light in being yourself because we are always told to be something else or someone or something that we're not. And I believe it's very important that you still try to stay true to yourself even throughout all of those gauges of being different. Not necessarily being different, but not really being yourself. And it's okay for like self exploring, like if you want to explore with yourself as far as your identity or changing your identity or anything like that, you're more than welcome to, my love. But that's just pretty much what I had to learn. Is just like understanding that you are human and you're gonna change and you're gonna adapt and you're gonna keep changing over and over and over against this. And I know how crazy that is to even think about, but this is exactly what's gonna happen. You're gonna keep changing and you will never stop changing. Because as a human, we evolve, and so do our emotions evolve. And also, sorry, I'm just taking a deep breath because this is kind of like a hard subject for me too. Another reason as to why I kind of just stopped really hating myself was because the world put me on this planet for one reason, and that reason is for me to live. And I'm gonna be in this brain, in this mind, in this body for my entire life. I'm not gonna leave. I'm not gonna leave it, I'm gonna still be me. And at the end of the day, sitting here and like hating myself, well, I can just find ways to slowly learn to fall in love with myself. It's just more beneficial towards me. When you're constantly in that cycle of hating yourself, you always find reasons to just bash yourself and continue to be like a negative thinker. And over time, that of course that creates negative thoughts, and those negative thoughts become very stagnant. So this is why I feel like it's very important that when you are feeling as though like you hate yourself or you are going through times where you just don't really like yourself, please remember that it's just a moment and it cannot be permanent. And on top of that, when it comes to your negative thoughts kind of like a yin and a yang, right? You have your positive thoughts and then you have your negative thoughts. I'm just gonna simplify it as best as I can. And so your negative thoughts are kind of meant to balance you out as a person. It's not meant to stay there and grow and take over your entire brain. It's not meant to do that, my love. It's meant to kind of create a balance within your character, right? Because if you constantly feel like you're good, you can't really progress, right? So your negative thoughts kind of share kind of like a balance with your character, well, with characters in yourself, within yourself, but they're not really meant to bring you down, or at least they shouldn't be. And if you are having thoughts of where like they literally bring you down for several hours, for several days, for several years, of course, you should definitely invest in a little bit of help if you can. Or if not, try to look on ways to find help. But in regards to that, as I said, my love, your negative thoughts are just only meant to be like a small bit of you as a character. They're not meant to manifest in something bigger and huger, So this is why it's a very good idea to make sure that yes, your negative emotions, they do exist. You do acknowledge them. You still nurture them and understand them. But at the same time, don't let them feed and then grow bigger. And that's what kind of helped me, is kind of creating a balance within myself, especially when it came to like when I used to hate myself. And this is more of like a side thing. I used to be called an Oreo all the time because I had proper English, because I wasn't like the stereotypical black woman as people thought I should be. So a lot of times I was made fun of that. And that over time kind of create like a little bit of self-hatred, especially because your girl has 4C hair. I'm not gonna sit here and lie about it. And though as though I love my I love my wigs, I love my my braids, my curls, but at the end of the day, sis, I have 4C hair, and I learned to really love that and understand that, because at the end of the day, 4C hair is very hard to tame, bitch, period. And on top of that, 4C is very hard to understand, but that's what comes from the uniqueness of it. So, but anyways, people used to call me an Oreo all the time, especially because, as I said, I had like proper English, and your girl never was really just like what people thought of as a stereotypical black woman. So I was always getting made fun of. I was always getting bullied. I was always getting be like, why am I talking so fast? My bad, my bad. But anyways, I was always getting bullied by like the white people because I was too black for them, and then the black people because I was too white for them. So I never really had like much of a balance. But over time, that did create like self-hatred in me when I was younger. But as I said, I grew up, and over time I just understood that this is just part of me, and this is how I talk, this is my dialect, this is who I am. And the best way to do that is just carry yourself with a higher head than sit there and just wallow and allow yourself to just feed on your own negative energy. Because at the end of the day, your brain is like the most powerful tool you really have. So you really need to make sure that you nurture your power tool. You need to make sure that you love your power tool, right? Even when it's not working the way you want it to work, even when you feel like I am just not in the fucking right headspace, mind space, why am I saying mind space? Just make sure that says that you really, really, really got your brain on tact. Especially if you're a very sensitive soul, as I say. If you're sensitive, you need to make sure that you also have your emotions on tact too. People literally will try to drain your energy, especially if you are a positive person and you're made of light and love. Please, please, please be careful. I'll continue to say this. Please be careful of people, especially if you are very sensitive. Please. Because there's a certain light that you carry that no one else does. There's a certain way that you understand emotions that no one can do. And just make sure that you really nurture that. And of course, I've kind of learned to just accept who I am. And as I said, there are some quirks that I have that I'm not really proud of. For instance, like, hey, I gave an example. I talk really fast, and sometimes my mouth goes faster than my brain. It is what it is. I just had to kind of learn it. I just kind of had to learn to just chill and just understand, like, hey, everything's gonna be okay. If nobody can fucking understand you, bitch, some people can't. Period. But most of the time, as I said, like my self-hatred over time diminished because I just kind of understand like how I am now and who I am. I understand that I'm going to constantly be changing and growing, and so to sit here and just hate myself for it is just too cruel for me. And don't be cruel to yourself, please don't, because it's like it does not benefit you, and it won't ever benefit you, right? I can understand if you're having negative thoughts, because I just said a couple minutes ago, if you're having negative thoughts, but when you sit there and just continue to create more darkness within yourself over time, that's just gonna empower you in like a bad way and continue to just knock you off. And that's why I say, like, just really understand who you are and try to accept who you are. And if there are certain things you don't like about yourself, try to really understand them with an open heart and understand, why do I feel this way about myself? And if it's something that you can't control, then just let it go. Because at the end of the day, you cannot control that, and the only thing you can do is just accept it and try to make it better. You have to constantly have this mindset of, I need to get better, I need to do better, I need to be better when it comes to your mental health, when it comes to just basically yourself. And you don't necessarily have to be better than, don't well, don't compare, first off, don't compare yourself to everyone else, because at the end of the day, you are your own challenger, you are your own enemy. So in regards to that, you are your own enemy, right? Focus on just being your own competition. Try to always be better within yourself. And don't look at everybody else. Don't look at Twitter. Don't look at Instagram. Don't look at whatever the fuck Barbara Louise is doing. Focus on you, okay? Because at the end of the day, you are your own enemy. If you want something better in life, you have to do something you never done, right? Period. So you need to really make sure that, as I said, if you are really just not on your best suit, do not stay in like that mindset of just not being better. You cannot continue to be stagnant, and you have to always, always, always try to strive for better, even when you feel like you don't have a chance, especially when it comes to jobs, especially when it comes to, I don't know, like an apartment, anything that you want, sis, you can have. I'm telling you, you can have it. You just have to really, 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 really work hard on it and understand and accept who you are. Once you accept who you are, trust me, things will get better. But first, it's the part of understanding, okay, why I am the way I am. Why do I have these anger problems? Why, when someone says X, it triggers me? Why does when someone says B, it makes me sad? You know, at the end of the day, as I said, you are your worst enemy and you are your greatest competitor. So continue to keep going. And when you feel like you dislike yourself or you hate yourself, you need to basically try to distance your brain from feeling that way and try to understand, why do you hate yourself? Once you understand why, then start, okay, well, what can we do to improve? You cannot just sit there and be like, oh, well, I hate myself and this is it. Okay? You can't do that, because at the end of the day, you're not giving yourself room to improve on that. And you need to also basically understand that, hey, there are some things I need to work out as a human, and that's okay. And I'm going to continue to work on it day by day, or take my time and learn it. But at the end of the day, you cannot just sit there stagnant and just sit there and wallow, because at the end of the day, it does nothing, and it will do nothing. So that's kind of how I learned how to basically accept myself and stop hating myself, is understanding and accepting the person who I am now. And once you understand who you are, no one can tell you any different. And yeah, that's all my message for today. I love you, my guys. I shall see you guys later. Have a good day. I'll see you guys on next video. Okay, bye.